What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Hope we are doing well. And in this video I'll try to show you how you can implement authentication system using Appwrite in your Next.js project. So basically I created a new Next.js project to keep that faster. So after creating your Next.js project, we are gonna go into our Appwrite console, and here we're gonna create a new project. So you can give any name, whatever you want. Let's call it YouTube project. After that, you're gonna choose a region to deploy your project, but right now only available option is Frankfurt, so we are gonna choose that and then click create. Let's try it again. Okay, I believe it's created. Yeah, okay. So after creating our project, we need to add a new platform here. Since we're gonna build a web application, we're gonna add web platform. So we also need to give another name for our platform, so we can call it my web app, and host name will be localhost. After that, we have to install the package of Appwrite. So let's come into VS Code and run this command to install Appwrite. After installing the package, we're gonna copy that code, and basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new file called Appwrite, and I'm gonna initialize the library in this file. So let's create that file quickly and paste that code here, and let's click next. And here is an example code to initialize the library, so let's copy that and paste it here. Click next and go to dashboard. Okay, right after doing that, we created our project in Appwrite, so it's time to create our register and login page quickly. So let's go back to VS Code, and we're gonna create a new folder called out, and let's create another folder, register, and we're gonna add page tsx here. So let's create that component quickly. So what we're gonna get from the user, we will ask their email. All right, let's have an input to get their email, and the other input will be their password. Okay, so let's complete that state stuff here. So finally we're gonna have a submit button here. So let's say create my account. Okay, so we will have a callback function here to handle once user click that submit button. So we can call it on click register. So it's gonna be async function, and here basically we have to run an Appwrite method to create the account. But first what we need to do is we're gonna import account class here, and we need to create that account instance. So we're gonna pass the client as a parameter here, and right after that we will just export that account instance, and we will use that account instance in the register page, and also we're going to use it in the login page. So in here, let's try to send the request. So we're gonna import that account instance here. So we're gonna use the create method. So in this method, we need to pass 3 parameters. So one of them is user ID. So we have to pass a unique user ID. So in order to pass that unique ID, we can use the helper class of Appwrite. So it's called like ID. So we're gonna import it and we're gonna use the unique method of it. And after that, we're gonna pass the email and password. So let's try to see what is the response here. Of course, we have to add a form here. Click register, or maybe we can say it. We can call it on submit. We should also prevent the default behavior of the browser. So what we're gonna do here is so we have to define that callbacks type. What was that? There it is, HTML form element. And here we're gonna run prevent default. All right, let's come back to our page. So add register. Of course, in order to use that use state hook, we have to have a client component here. Right now, as you know, once you create a new component in Next.js, it is a server component. You have to say that it is client component. So in order to do that, we have to put that statement at the beginning of the file. So after saving the file, let's refresh the page. Let's remove that global CSS stuff here. Okay. So right here we have 2 inputs. So let's open our dev tool. All right, let's fill the form. Okay, once we click that button, as you can see, we just created a new account in Appwrite. So let's go to the database sections. Oh, sorry. Let's go to the auth section, and here, as you can see, we have the user right here. So after right now we have the user accounts. So we're gonna implement the login process right now. In order to do that, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna create a new folder called login, and we're gonna have a new file called page.tsx. So let's basically copy that code to make it faster. So we're gonna change the component name to login page, and basically we're gonna have the same inputs here, email and password. Let's change that title and let me check. Okay, we can say login here. All right, once user submit the form, we have to run different methods here. What we're gonna run here is create email session. So we don't need to pass the unique ID here. We will just pass email and password. After that, let's see what we're gonna get after running that method. Let's go to the login page. I'll try to fill it with the correct credentials. Once we click the login button, as you can see, we have the session right now. This is great. So the question is how we can detect that if user logged in or not. So we can go to the home page, and we can try to fetch the current session, and if there's a user logged in, we can show the user's email, and if there is no user, if user is not logged in yet, we can redirect them to the login page maybe. All right, let's make this component client component, and let's use effect here. So we're gonna import that account instance here. So Appwrite, okay. So we have to load session. Okay, we can have a function called load session. It's gonna be async function here, and basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a try catch method, because if there is no session, Appwrite's library just throws an exception, so we have to catch that exception and handle it. Let's say there is no session yet, and after that we're gonna redirect user, but let's do it later. So in here we're gonna run the get function in account instance, and it's gonna return us the current session if it exists. So let's try to see it in our console. Let's say current session. Okay, so let's go back to the home page. So yeah, as you can see right now we have the current session. So let's have a button here to log out, so where we can add that button. Yeah, okay. Okay, let me remove that code. Let's have another callback called logout, and once user click that button, we're gonna run that. So basically we're gonna run delete session function, and we're gonna pass current as a session ID, because we want to delete the current session in this device. So let's try to click that button. Okay, once we refresh the page, as you can see, it's gonna say there is no session yet because we delete the session. So once we see that there is no session, we have to redirect user to the login page. So how we can do it? So we have to import use router, and right here we're gonna say redirect user to the login page. Yeah, as you can see, once we detect that there is no session yet, we are just redirecting user to the login page. Okay, so what is next? So yeah, as I said earlier, we can show the user email. So how we can do that? As you can see, we already fetched the session right here. We can keep that information in this local in the local state. So let's have a session and set session methods here, and the type of that is, okay, let's say user and set user actually. type might be user or null, so it's gonna be null at the beginning. Okay, so right here, once we get the user, we will just set that to the state, and here user email, and we're gonna show the user email like this. Of course, we have to check if it exists or not. So let's go back to the home page, and right now we don't have any session yet, so it redirects us to login page. Let's try to be logged in. All right, we logged in right now. We forgot to redirect user to the home page, but it's okay. Let's go back to home page, and as you can see, we have the email here. So that's the this is how you can basically implement that authentication system in your Next.js project. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed while watching the video. Please make sure you hit the like button, and please leave some comments if you want to see that kind of videos. In the next video, we're gonna see how we can use the databases in Appwrite, how we can store the data in Appwrite, how we can fetch the documents, and how we can delete them, how we can basically we're gonna see how we can manage the data using Appwrite. See you in the next video.